Data analytics gives you the advantage of getting to answer questions in a faster time. In esports, you have a topic where all those technologies can be applied with an actual great purpose.
BG has made it through. It's time to figure out who is going to be playing them. We're about to hop in EG versus Thunder Predator. And I'm going to ask you right now, Gods, how do you feel about SA's last hope?
Are we calling them a hope? We're calling them a hope, Rich? Black, are we calling them a hope? Is there hope? Thunder Predator?
I mean, I'm in no position to talk, or I'm gonna get murdered. So.
Wait, why? Have you stated that you don't think SA is as strong of a region or anything like that?
I don't actually remember whether I said that or not, but I got a lot of attacks on Twitter.
It's okay.
Look, the reality is they're a team who didn't even initially qualify for this event. They got here as a replacement for another team that got disqualified. They've got some good individual players. There's some promise there, but they are nowhere near the level of EG. They have next to no chance of winning the series. There's a maybe small chance they win a game, but reality is they should lose this series. But there have been, crazy upsets in the history of Dota. So maybe watch, guys.
So this would be one of the crazier upsets. We're going to say that right now. In your mind, this is an absolutely no reason to expect this upset to happen right now. How does the hope actually come through, though, for this region and for this team? What needs to happen in your mind for them to come out on top against EG?
I think they'll have to massively overplay to their own capabilities, and at the same time, EG will have to play quite poorly to their standards.
That's okay.
And
so
probably some draft stuff as well. They need to get some favorable drafts, which is probably unlikely, but who knows?
EG haven't looked as great as they could have throughout this tournament, though, guys. I mean, do you think that that's even a hint of an opening here for Thunder Predator to be able to maybe strike first blood in our best of three?
I mean, to be fair, last major they also dropped into the lower bracket super fast. Was it also first round? Might have been first round, maybe second round, but they dropped down to the lower bracket really early, and they made it all the way to top 3. Was it top 3?
Yeah, they got third place.
Yeah,
beating
all the way to top 3.
Yeah, I think they dropped down the first round, if I recall correctly, and then they beat Forward Gaming in that deciding match. Yeah, and then they just made it run right through.
So I would never count out EG. They had lots of time to discuss what went wrong.
They're a low bracket team. They show up to these events with the idea of how to play Dota. And I think part of the problem for EG is they play in a region where they don't have many scrim partners, because NA is just a smaller region. Forward Gaming is like their main team to scrim there, as well as J-Storm. Compared to Europe and CIS, where there's all these teams you can play against, I think EG rock up like, maybe our ideas are right, maybe they're wrong. So they often start a bit shaky if their drafts are a little bit off.
Okay, now, when we look at Thunder Predator, we didn't necessarily expect them to be able to take their best of one. I think that we came into that day yesterday and we said, okay, they're not favored here. We knew that there was a chance, but they weren't favored. They come out, they win that best of one. Yes, it's only one game, but I do want to ask, do you think maybe the Pango was a little bit over-evaluated? There were quite a few times when analysts started to hype up this team and said, Pango maybe can go the distance. We see a lot of potential there. And then when we see Thunder Predator come out and beat them, then all of a sudden it does feel like a really big upset. Do you think that the Pango could have been oversold?
Pango's good. They're just missing their best player.
Okay.
That's all it really is with these guys. I would expect to see them at future majors, but missing your key early game playmakers, just like, they're not the same team.
Yeah, they were probably a bit overhyped here due to their group stage. Like in the early games in the group stage, they looked really good, competing with Liquid and all those. And when it really matters, then you have to show up, and they didn't. So.
And ultimately, that's why they were eliminated, and that gives the Thunder Predator this opportunity here to potentially take down EG. We're going to have to see if they can do it. You guys have been very, very brutal, but let's talk about EG and why you think that they are such a strong team in this current position, why you think they're just a cut above of their competition.
Well, those two guys, 2 TI winners. You've got major winners on the team with Fly, Arteezy, world-class player in his own right.
Yeah, even Crit won a major too.
Several majors, I think, with OG, right? Or at least one.
I think one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, maybe more.
It's, a team of very accomplished players. There's all the talent there to be one of the best teams in the world. They got third place at the last major with good reason.
Third place at TI.
Third place at TI, exactly. And that was with a fairly newly formed roster. These guys are made for greatness.
Nature's prophet.
No.
Loss. There's a win there, though.
There's a win. There's one win. There's one win. Nature's Prophet.
There wasn't Sumails though, was it? I don't actually know.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was against the Alliance, right? That win.
I just feel like Sumail is so much better on other heroes. Like, you don't need to put him on a Prophet. Prophet is too stable for him. He likes to be flashy. Just give him flashy heroes. He will outplay your opponent, and he will make it work.
Flashy heroes, Viper, you know? Like, they went with Viper. Should we? Is that what you want to play? Yeah, give him flashy heroes. Like that Viper. There we go.
We talk about the Nature's Prophet, though, and why we think maybe that they are playing it. You heard from some of the analysts thinking maybe because of different things, like the tri-lane being so prevalent here. Nahaza said it's gone from 10% to over 25% in this current patch. We see it in quite a few games. You still don't like it. Is it one of those situations where you say, okay, we can see actually 4 picks with a 50% win rate, but is this one of those scenarios where you say, I see what you're trying to do with the Nature's Prophet, but it's just not working in practice?
I think Nature's Prophet is a great hero, don't get me wrong. It's just, I feel Sumail is, like, he can't really unleash his full potential on the hero. If you want to pick it, I think just give it to S4 instead. Okay. I think he will do a much better job on it. Maybe not even a better job, it's just like, Sumail I feel is a bit underutilized. Like, he can play Tiny so well, he can play Pucks, and maybe not Quap, but like all these heroes are his like specialty, and I think we should just give it to him because he will go off on those and he can carry games by himself.
Okay, you want to see him utilized. Sounds like a very sound bet, but EG, this does seem somewhat like the perfect bracket run for them. It's already been stated by the panel quite a few times, but you look at the results so far. I keep bringing it up. What do you think has caused them to look a little bit sloppy here?
Just EG started the tournament sometimes can be a bit shaky. I mean, part of the stuff, some of the stuff I talked about where it's like they come into a tournament maybe not as well prepared because of who they can practice against, and just, you know, you're adjusting to new opposition, your time zones, all these other factors that come into play. I think EG, the longer the tournaments go, the better they play. That's always been the case with EG.
Okay, very, very fair. So now we expect them to maybe be getting into form much more than they have been at the beginning of this tournament. I think we just saw out of their 9 games, 44% win rate. Yep. So we're expecting them now to get in here, potentially take down this match, then move on into the top 8 and get to play against Vici. And already the prediction seems to be coming in for EG to be able to take Vici as well. So a lot of high aspirations for this team moving forward in the lower portion of the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, if they were actually really to lose to Thunder Predator, that would be super disappointing for them.
Yeah, super happy for Thunder Predator, and it is obviously a possibility, but that would be massive upset.
And then at the same time, if VG will play like they just played now, they won't have a chance against EG2 if they play like as well as I expect them to.
The issue for Thunder Predator is some of the ways they win games and can rely on them is like individual star performances. Like Atoon's one of those guys that can just go off and have an amazing game, carry his team. I think even Leo's style is a mid laner, similar thing, but you can't do that against players on EG. You're not going to be able to crush Sumail in lane and just outplay Sumail throughout the course of a best of 3, maybe one game. But in a best of 3, no. Outplace S4 3 games in a row. I don't think it's possible.
And I think that's why we're kind of hearing something that sounds really harsh from you guys, but the idea of it's not just on them playing out of their mind. It would also be on EG playing a little bit below what we expect of them. And that's a hard thing to count on, not only your own team, but to also count on the opposition not playing their best game. That's not where you want to go in and match up, obviously. It does seem like a very hard matchup, but how could they set up their team in the draft potentially to be on heroes that would allow them to have those crazy individual performances that may allow them to move forward here?
I think, if anything, probably the best shot is to just crush them early, overrun them early, because oftentimes EG have like a more greedy vibe to their draft with Sumail as well as Arteezy. They kind of like to farm a bit before they start making their moves.
Would you say if it's like going to late game, EG should be favored, right?
Oh, for
I
sure.
guess unless EG have like an early game draft or something.
But usually they draft so they secure for late game, and late game EG's decision making is just impeccable. They're super good late game, and if it ever gets there, I would definitely give the edge to EG.
Yeah, so pick like these early game laning, strong lanes, and try snowball from there. Maybe
like these Huskers that we have seen banned out a lot of times, Visages maybe.
I wouldn't even go back for some of the SA classics like the TA mids. If you get a good TA matchup, bust out a TA or something. Like these heroes aren't popular top picks right now, but they need to do something a bit different if they want to beat EG.
Now, not to get super far ahead of ourselves, but we have a few moments here before we actually do jump into the draft. I'm thinking about DPC points quite a bit. We already know the VP is mathematically through to TI already, and the second major isn't even done yet. We talk about EG already having a pretty decent performance. They managed to already have that high placement. If they can go on a deep run here, how strong does it start to look for them, especially when we see Secret, too, also grabbing a large amount of these points?
Secret got second at the first one, and then they're going to be top 3 at this one as well. So they're already guaranteed over 5,000 points. EG got third, and if EG finishes top 6, yeah, they may not be mathematically guaranteed at TI, but I would say that, more or less does guarantee them TI.
About as good of a chance that they have in beating Thunder Predator here.
You would need some crazy stuff to happen where VP Secret don't finish top 3 or top 5 or any of the future majors, and totally new teams start winning majors, which is pretty unlikely right now.
Or Meteorite has to hit Earth, something like that.
And only hit select people. It's to splinter upon impact and only hit certain teams. Yeah, you start to get into some pretty wonky stuff with the maths if you do want to see some of these teams. Especially, it gets stable very quickly when you see the 2 top teams from the last major already be guaranteed top 3, and you see how quickly those points do ramp up.
Yeah, a 3rd and a 4th and a 5th place at a major means a lot when it's Secret VP getting top 3 at every major.
Yeah, I think like mathematically Secret is not in, but they have to sit at like 5.1k points now. It is virtually impossible for them to not go.
Yeah, that's more points from winning than you get from winning one major.
Yeah.
And considering there's only 5 majors, 12 teams at TI, can do some easy math there and figure out chances are they're there.
Yeah, the math's still a little bit too complicated for me, but I do have VP manages to secure it this time also with their coach playing. So then you start saying, okay, when they do have solo at future majors even, you expect them to consistently do well again. And also, when we talked to their coach yesterday in that quick interview, he's saying, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to have to play in the major, but yeah, we're either going to win with me or we're going to win with Solo if he's feeling better. Just complete confidence coming out from them.
It's a pretty useful standard to have. Your coach who's also used to be a captain and support player for his previous teams, who also knows all their strats. He's there coaching them from behind, and he's a former pro player himself. So it's a handy stand-in to have.
It's like the perfect fit. Like, for example, if no one got sick or something, there's no way they can perform to the same standard.
Yes.
If anyone was going to get sick, it kind of had to be Solo. You feel?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a bit mean, but you know what I mean, right? Like
yeah,
for sure.
No, it doesn't even sound mean. It's just where would you fit in most naturally? With a different coach, it may be a different player, right?
Cable length.
They're not seeing that actually.
Yeah, I know. We saw it.
We have like 37 streams, and Black is looking at the wrong TV screen. So ultimately here, one of the reasons that we're talking about those points is because a lot of these teams can kind of be happy at this moment that they're seeing it's like, okay, yeah, maybe we haven't gotten exactly where we wanted to yet, but at least the teams that are doing well have already accrued so many of those points. So it does still give us a pretty strong chance to get that road to TI, but getting it working here, Evil Genius is very early going to lock in that Tusk, and this is also a pick that we've seen first phase quite a bit in the last game here. Gods, how do you like it?
I imagine EG as a team and Artesia as a player is very happy that TB's back to being first 2 pick worthy. He's one of the big Terrorblade players, and this hero right now is looking like it's very viable to just pick it in the first stage, as we're seeing EG do.
Yeah, but something more unconventional.
This is, this is the SA flair, like we're not going to just go pick some standard meta heroes and try and take a normal game. We're going to go for the laning counter. We talk about how they need to win the lanes, how they should look to try and crush the early game and snowball. Tiny, one of the best laning heroes in the game, whether it's as a 4 position, a mid, an off laner, Bat Rider, direct kind of counter in the lane to TB. I like this a lot from Thunder Predator.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is how you make or break the game. If the lane gets crushed, you lose the game pretty much. If the lane dominates, then you put yourself in a very good position to actually win the game.
Yeah.
They also ban out the Oracle, one of the best heroes against Bat Rider. Yeah, I mean, the lane looks good. Bat Rider Tiny is very scary. But TB can also choose to avoid it. Like, if you just want to get the right matchups, you can smoke out, get some vision down, try to avoid the lane.
And we're seeing more tri lane, so maybe they just go for like a Tusk or Lich's ban, but like Tusk TB +1 kind of tri lane.
Yeah.
Okay, a decent start here, though, for Thunder Predator.
Yeah.
Definitely trying to get those lanes under control nice and early. EG now going for a ban.
And late game pretty much secured already. As we said, EG loves to play the late game. So
yeah, they can just get Sumail whatever hero suits the game, and they think he can, have a good time with something that can, probably come online early, be a big space creator for the TB to just farm.
yeah, I would like to see him play Puck again. His Puck has always been standout. And Puck is like somewhat back in the meta again, at least for the Chinese teams, it seems. Not so much for the other teams.
I think smart to ban Timbersaw. That's such an annoying hero when like if you get a 4th pick Timbersaw against a a TB, and then they're probably going to pick some kind of tanky offlaner for like maybe a 1v1 matchup. Suddenly Timbersaw can look very good if you're against like an Underlord or something.
A lot of Disruptor today. Why all of a sudden are we seeing Disruptor more and more in the later stages of this tournament, Black?
Mostly because all the other position 5s are getting banned now. Like, there's no Dazzle, there's no Lich, there's no Grimstroke, there's no Oracle.
Yeah.
Like, choices are very limited at this point, and like even for Thunder Predator right now, what do you pick as position 5 that's actually good? Like, there's like Ruby that used to be a really good position 5, but shifted more into position 4 role. And Disruptor is just a staple position 5 hero, has been for a long time, kind of faded out because the other heroes are just like that much stronger, but he's still a valid hero.
And his laning stage is not like a strong point of his.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're going to do what looks maybe an ET Tiny support duo, which doesn't sound amazing, but if they're doing dual lanes, it could be good. Or they run like a Tiny mid here.
Yeah.
It's kind of flexible.
Could be tiny mid.
ET versus the TB, if you get to a point in the mid to late game where ET has some items and isn't melting, he can stand next to the TB, remove all of his armor. So theoretically, can give you some late game answers to the TB.
Sure, Fog is excited to see that ET coming out. Now we're going to see how Evil Geniuses are going to respond here.
They had that hero in their best of 1 win as well. Matthew was playing it, and it was very helpful. They were versing Medusa, a similar idea where like the deciding fights, ET was just standing next to the Medusa, getting rid of all the armor while the TB was able to kill her off. So definitely a hero they're comfortable playing with.
There's still the possibility for a Medusa for Thunder Predator here.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely need to somehow match a Terrorblade, because I don't think they're just going to be able to end the game early. They have no pushing power so far.
And you don't necessarily think they need to invest in that pushing power?
I mean, if they really want to go complete early game, they can. It's just so risky, and usually doesn't like pay off, especially if like a bad rider. Doesn't seem very pushy. It's more like a split push kind of offlaner.
Okay.
All right, what's S4 going to play? I'm almost certainly saving Sumails here for last.
Yeah, Centaur is banned already. Tide is banned as well. A Weaver.
Oh, that's unexpected. Not normally a 3 position.
Yeah, but they're definitely looking to just put the Weaver against the bad rider.
Yeah, and then do the TB trial lane or something.
Yeah. I mean, Weaver is not bad.
It gives you a
Especially
save with the Ags. Like,
against the bad rider.
Yeah.
Just, if they ever last with the TB, just put, I mean, they have so much save right now. If you ever
someone
goes into
gets
the
stomped, someone gets lassoed, just time-lapse them out.
they have a snowball on top of that.
Yep.
Very solid lineup.
It doesn't give you much team fight right now. They've got Disruptor ulti, but they don't really have a frontliner. They don't really have team fight. Same time, that may not be a problem. Like, if you're just pushing, TB can just frontline with Metamorph and start hitting the tower.
A huge edge right now they give to Thunder Predator, though, is they actually have like a lot of solid lockdown, whereas EG have like one snowball and the Tusk Punch.
Thunder Predator's team fight looks way better so far.
And their lanes also look very strong. They could actually run over EG in the early game if EG is not careful.
And one of the things we said about Thunder Predator before we even got into the draft was they needed heroes that would allow their players to have these individual games where they can just take control of the game. Does this allow that so far? I mean, obviously, we still have a decent way to go in our draft. When we look at this, you say all the capabilities, all the boxes that it does check. But is this what the particular players on Thunder Predator need to go toe-to-toe with EG?
I think sort of. It's more about, I think, the Attune and the other players. They get Bane. So I guess Tiny's going to be Attune's hero from... Oh, or Leo Styles hero for mid.
Yeah.
Bane ET support. They had Bane, like, Bane's another comfort pick for them, something that Prada played in their last best of 1.
So hard to play against Tusk and Disruptor, though.
Huh.
There's a Glimpse, there's Snowball, there's lots of interrupts. But as you said, comfort hero.
What's the carry going to be? Or I guess you could do Tiny's safe lane and pick a mid.
They need a super hard carry. I actually thought they would pick Dusa here.
Yeah, that would have made sense to me.
Like right now, they don't really have a winning condition. Is my problem. Like they can kill a lot. We criticized that yesterday already. They can kill a lot, but how do you transition into objectives from that?
I don't mind. Okay, Void against Weaver TB would have been a good option. I don't mind seeing them pick Drow. I think Drow was actually really nice against the Weaver, and you have got the ultimate to bypass the TB's armor. Yes, Reflection's hard to play into a bit, but you get Manta, you get BKB. I think Drow might be one of the better carry options for them.
Need something like that. Just a winning condition to play around. Whether it's Drow or Medusa. Or is there anything else? I mean, here like Nah.
They have no building push. If they want to play early game in Snowball, they need something to actually hit buildings with, or they need, and if they don't want to do that, they need a late game carry. So either way, you need something that's going to scale for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see a way for them to win the game right now. They can kill a lot.
And the next
Sure.
minute, you might.
Yeah, I hope so.
If not, it's going to get very scary very early on.
Yeah. I mean, S4 is just like, they want to kill us, but we don't care. Stretch.
Imagine for EG, we'll see some initiating Snowball type hero for Sumail, like the puck that Black keeps mentioning.
So Puck's still an option on the side of EG, but I mean, this is a lot of pressure right now on the side of Thunder Predator.
For sure.
This is something that you guys have critiqued in the past. Easy to grab the kills. They're good at doing it, but
Eye shot.
how much is that going to matter if you're not able to turn it into anything on the map?
Yeah. I mean, right now they have a tiny that can kind of hit buildings, but not really until you get some items.
There's still Jug in the pool, but Jug does not match up well against TB. But they'll
there
do
it
it
is.
anyways. It's the most played carry hero of this tournament so far.
Against
so.
Weaver and Jug, though, that seems rough.
And how's it going to be able to do against buildings potentially?
He needs items first.
It works because you can, once you have items, you can Blade Fury hit buildings. Jug does actually give you some building damage and Snowball. You've got Healing Ward to push with. And I think importantly, you don't get caught up by glibs. Like you can actually avoid those disruptor ganks
I think they're completely outdrafted.
with the OD.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
OD is
because
going to
OD
win
versus
against the Tiny. TB and Weaver are great against the Juggernaut. I mean, I don't know. This is going to be rough for TB.
EG's team fight's very lacking, though.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely one of the things you got going for you. Like, this Weaver, as a 3 position, we haven't seen it this tournament, and it does limit their ability to, we have a good lane stage, but then what next?
Yeah.
How do you play the mid game when you don't have this hero to go around and start making moves for you? So I don't actually think, personally, they've been outdrafted that badly.
I mean, I just feel like EG is going to win 2 lanes with the lineup they've had. They're definitely going to win middle. OD against Tinies, no problem. And I think they're going to win the tri-lane too. They put the TB and Tusk on.
Okay.
And then the Weaver should, in theory, have a somewhat okay time. And I just feel like if they come out of the laning phase too well, then there's just no answer from Thunder Predator.
All right, well, we've seen the draft. This was somewhat of a lopsided matchup before we even did see it, but now we're going to find out. Will we see the upset, or is EG going to be able to start off strong in this elimination series?
Thank you so much, Rich. And yes, EG, no stranger to the lower bracket, Fogged, as they're going to be facing off against Thunder Predator here in this best of 3.
Yeah.
It was always going to be a mismatch, just in terms of like player notability and skill and all of those things. But to me, at least, it feels like they've kind of built a draft together where Thunder Predator can do things. What do you think about this draft?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're playing to their strengths, right? They're playing heroes that are very comfortable for them. They played literally 2 of these heroes in the last game. They played both these supports, the other Titan and the Bane, in their best of 1. I really enjoyed watching Leo Style on the Timbersaw in the last one, and Frank's Beastmaster as well in their best of 1. And yeah, they're playing a lot of these comfort zones, and it does look like they can put the pressure on. It's just really about, can they get the lanes that they want? They really want to have this Bat Rider versus the Timbersaw, or versus the Terrorblade, but you know that EG's they're just gonna keep switching. They're gonna have this Weaver playing versus the Bat Rider, and Bat Rider absolutely hates playing versus Weaver.
And Weaver's definitely here that can switch lanes really quickly if he needs to. So let's hop into this game. Again, a best of 3, the very first game in the series. And again, we have the pause. Always happens. So there's a couple of things that we can sort of keep our eyes on in this game. Prada, you mentioned, had an amazing game on the Bane. He made so much happen early, and he feels like he's going to need to be one of the heroes that makes moves around the map in the early goings.
Yeah, he's going to have he was excellent. Absolutely amazing, actually, in that game. He was the MVP for me in their best of 1. This game now, though, I think the panel mentioned it too. There's great ways to stop him, even before the OD was picked up. That's why I kind of like this OD, is it provides you another way of saving people. If you don't get jumped by the Bat Rider, it's going to be your own way to kind of protect. You can also stop people who get Fiends gripped a lot of the times too. They have a lot of different ways to deal with it. But Thunder Predator, they do have, the one thing is like they have AT. That's pretty much my happy point. They have ET Bat Rider. Pretty much. I know. No, but it is. I know. It's ET Bat Rider. So that's the traditional things that you see these two, and you think they're just traditionally very good versus Terrorblade. Just their natural skill sets are good. Natural Order, excellent versus TB in both aspects with the magic damage amplification and the physical one. And then Bat Rider if you can actually get on top of him. But yeah, like we said, EG's going to dodge.
Yes, and they will try and get out of there as much as possible. In the mid game, it could become more of an issue, particularly if Thunder Predator are able to get out of the lanes fine. I think about all these different sources of kind of intense burst damage. You have like the ET Stomp to set it up, so it's not just in the laning stage, but in that mid game. And then, of course, Avatos from Tiny, even just a Bane Brain Sap. That's a lot of burst damage, and if Thunder doesn't come out in time, could be a quick kill there on the TB.
They do have a lot of static damage on Thunder Predator. Until this Juggernaut has big items, they're all just about throw your spells. When you look at EGs, they have continuous building damage, like continuous damage that builds up, that ramps up between the OD, between the Tower Blade when he pops meta and just hits people. It's a different kind of style. Thunder Predator is all about just insta-killing somebody before they can get their abilities off.
And the other thing to keep in mind is that that's all earlier, the stuff I was talking about, predicated upon being able to find the Terrorblade. And oftentimes we've been seeing Terrorblades just send out those illusions all over the map and then farm themselves in the most safe place. And if you don't have the vision down early on, then you're not going to be able to get it. So S4 moves in.
Oh, he doesn't. Matthew gets it.
Not quite. So 2 apiece. Nothing really lost there for EG. It does reveal that the Weaver is there. We'll see if they decide to swap things up, but it looks like they are just going to keep the Bat Rider in the top lane with Matthew. And
so EG's happy.
Yep.
They're very happy with this. They're going to have their tri-lane versus the Jug to put the pressure on, and they're going to have Weaver versus Bat Rider. So the absolute dream set up in lanes, at least for EG now. As we see Sumail, he's just going to be in a straight-up 1v1 versus mid of Leo style, which Tiny can do decent in the first few waves. It's once those levels build up on the OD that you start to be able to put the pressure on when you get your Arcane Orb and your Equilibrium. But yeah, first few he's going to be doing great on Leo style, and even finds the Ops Ward.
Nice. Yeah, very good start to that one for him.
Yeah.
It does look like they will have the ET down here with the Bane, so it's going to be a full tri-lane on tri-lane, which ET definitely likes that bonus damage, and Prada will be able to trade last hits, or right clicks rather, pretty effectively with the Brain Sap.
Yep, if he ever hits all 3 heroes plus the creep wave, he's going to be sitting at more than it's like plus 57 or so damage on the ET. He only hits 2 heroes there, but either way, he's able to bully them out. And that was the first meta usage.
No. Just again, sending that spirit through a couple of them. It's also the armor that you get from it.
Yeah, and he's even getting the secondary wave too, so it's going to be like, 77 with that secondary wave that comes in.
9 armor also.
Yeah.
He's a monster. Yeah, very hard to deal with. And you think about the reasons why. Oh, need to hold that thought for a second. Matthew under fire here with the tag team, but he's able to force back the rest of EG again. But you think about the reasons why Disruptor fell out of the meta. Oftentimes it was because it had switched to dual lanes, and this hero sometimes can run into issues a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. But now they've got the tag team, and when they do have meta, tag team plus Disruptor plus meta, they've got pretty much 3 range heroes, I guess you could say, to put the pressure on. They just need to watch the positioning until they hit level 2, because Jug Spin is still very threatening in the laning phase.
Definitely. So it is going to be a toss back there. Leo style will get the DD.
2-minute rune. Sumail is probably not too happy about a DD spawning there.
Yeah. Already Tiny with a ridiculous amount of base damage.
Yeah.
Now with the tree grab can just kind of have a good time in the CS. Can still get banished if he's not careful, but
he should play very confidently low. Like he should just be trying to put as much pressure on Sumail as possible. Just pop the DD, like try to stun toss him back, and every time you use Astral, just try to stun toss him back into your creeps. Pop the DD as well, and
Avalanche.
Just,
the punches. Sumail, he's already used it, and now almost goes down there, but the Fairy Fire was never going to be enough. But as you said, play aggressively.
Yeah.
So the Nightmare as Prada is going to back away, and do have a short little pause there.
They have a snowball here if they would like to chase. Actually, not having the shards. The shards would probably be a guaranteed kill, but we do see, like players go for different ones depending on what they're versed to. Versus like Jug, you want to have like a save for your TV, so it makes sense having that snowball. They won't be able to get Prada.
I mean, that's the thing, is if Attune just manages to find a spin onto Arteezy, you're going to need something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of a safer build this time.
Definitely.
But so far, so good for Thunder Predator, as well as EG, I would say.
Yeah. The mid lane gets much harder, though, like I was mentioning, for that Tiny. Oh, they popped the glyph, actually, to make Sumail miss some last hits, it looked like here.
Oh.
He did miss, too.
Not bad at all.
So the OD will miss a couple of there, but he will start to catch back up. We see Tiny 16-6, but OD not too far behind.
No.
Top lane is actually pretty impressive that Frank is keeping it like this. He's doing really well just getting last hits. Like, one of the things about Bat Rider, sometimes you just suffer. Oh my god,
S4? S4's dead? Frank, the god.
Frank?
Frank the tank.
Oh, S4 making a big mistake there, just like using his Shikuchi and then just popping out near the creep wave with 5 stacks. Frank was saving skill point. He's like, okay, easy flame break skill. I mean, that was easy for him. And he was already last hitting great.
S4 getting killed by Batrider. What world have we come to?
As a Weaver, that's something you really don't see.
It's like his old signature hero, too.
Yeah.
Well, Metamorphosis is going to be popped here, and the Nightmare from Prada. And with that, EG going to assert dominance in this lane. The Toon can't really walk up to this creep wave here at all.
Man, that's so huge. Like, Frank's going to have... What's he building here? I saw he picked up some items.
He's going for drums. He's got the crown.
Yeah, he's just... some stats.
Snowball immediately into the spin, and the Echo Stomp to create a little bit of space zoning slightly there. TZ's going to walk forward with the creep wave already there and get some denies under the tower.
S4 just got 5 stacks on him again. I was like, oh my.
Vision. Oh. Frank, he gets the 6th as well. Does have another Shikuchi in a second, and is going to be able to walk away, but another stack there, and yeah, it's so deadly.
I mean, Frank just put the pressure on so that he can get both bounty runes.
Not bad at all. The stomp here, it's going to connect. Prada will have another brain sap crit, able to get that stick charge off, but one more punch. Oh, they get the kill there, and he's going to be able to pick up the bounty rune afterwards.
All 4 bounties for Thunder Predator, and they get themselves that secondary kill. And oh, look at that. Instead of the drum, he actually wants to make sure that he can continue being poised in that top lane, going for a soul ring. I thought he might actually just buy the bottle because he was actually picking up both bounties. I thought it might have been a bit more efficient, but wants to have the soul ring. Because I guess maybe because they have the tiny with the bottle already, he doesn't want to have a secondary one. Not too sure.
Now, I don't want to go crazy yet, but I will say Thunder Predator, don't look now. They're 1,000 gold up.
Yeah, 1,000 gold up. Jug is being slowed down, though. 19-2 in comparison to 27 and 12 of the Tower Blade.
Yeah.
That just a suicide there by Prada.
And it does look like, since this camp has not been blocked up all that much, Crit is now going to make sure that it happens.
Race to try to guarantee the runes. 6-minute mark. Sumail will make sure that he does not allow Leo Style to finish up filling up that bottle. We're calling him Leo Style, right? Not Draken?
Yeah,
I think everyone knows he's Leo Style, so.
Interchangeable. This fly that's over there. This is just going to be a gang up, though.
He's got a snowball. It's going to prevent a lot of that damage.
Staying alive for the moment. Arteezy walking into here as well, and they've already killed off a couple of the big creeps. There's going to be the reflection with the tag team turning back onto a Toon. He's in some trouble. The shards are there as well. Can they keep a Toon alive? Yes, they will. Looks like Arteezy can't really go further forward.
Great snowball there by Crit. They thought he was going to snowball on the neutral creep. He snowballs on the lane creep, so he's able to distance himself.
Somehow that Wraith Band ended up in somebody else's backpack when he went for the drop, and now a Toon doesn't have the spin. The Metamorphosis is going to be there, and Jug is going to hit the deck. Now walking forward, there's still a Metamorph TB here. Prada needs to be careful of the Thunderstrike, and now the Shard's catching him into position. There's going to be the Nightmare to try and stay alive. The TP rotation coming in, though, from a Toon, and just a little bit too far away. Can't get the spin jump onto the TB. There's going to be the glimpse back. They kill off Fly. Just a little bit of chaos going on in the early goings of this one.
Yeah, chaos going down bottom, but it's favoring EG. Tower Blade's getting full free farm in comparison to the Jug, who even just died.
Yeah, and
the one big thing is, though, is that it's Frank, right? Frank is really the big one. That he's top 2 net worth. I mean, he's 500 net worth over S4.
That's pretty nuts.
That really is. It's very impressive.
And as you said, the other big issue is that in the mid lane, the Tiny has started to fall behind the OD, which is to be expected.
Yeah, as levels build up, you get higher levels in Astral. It's just, yeah, there's not much you can do. You walk up, every single time you walk up, you're getting Astral because of that low cooldown.
And inhabiting all of the top of the CS right now.
Maybe they're trying to set up for a kill. Toss back, perhaps, but they get the Astral.
Stomp is there. The Avalanche already came, and now they can get it. No, not enough time. And Crit was even making the rotation over as well. So good Astral there from Sumail. I think that he dies if he doesn't get that one.
Yeah, perhaps they could get that toss back. They also even had the ward already deeply placed on the side of EG, and they see when Matthew TP's on the ET placing that ward. So that mid ward that they just put down is going to get dewarded pretty soon.
Not necessarily what you would want to have happen. Frank again goes. He pushes him into the coal.
My God, Frank, that was sick. That was actually so well played.
I think you're going to have to change your name from F-God.
Dude, I'm F-Dog. I've always been F-Dog. This guy, Oh my God, Frank. That was like perfect. And even with like now that Flaming Lasso does a little bit of damage too, if you get your sticky stacks up, it adds that kill threshold that much better in a solo attempt.
And this
What a boss.
this Soul Ring build too, it's just allowing him to keep it going.
Yeah.
Matthew gonna go for the stomp. It's gonna connect. Drac in, Leo style, trying to get the toss back, but Sumail able to get to the other side of that range creep. And now the glimpse doesn't pull him that far, but might do enough as he's already dropped down the stage. Eclipse, Tiny, very low. One more punch should maybe do it. Yes, they do get that kill. And now the snowball forward for Matthew. But Frank, he's shown up. Can they turn it around? There's gonna be the flame break, also getting that astral imprisonment, but so much damage on the fly, he might die. Able to get himself on a killing spree.
They get the Sentry Ward too. You saw that EG, they were trying to get rid of that ward that was placed. It actually was Thunder Predator who took out EG's ward instead. A little bit of a ward battle coming out there. Oh yeah, Frank the man. Frank the tank.
He still does end up, Sumail, getting that kill on the Tiny.
Yeah.
But this feels like he's going to be the playmaker that they kind of need right now. Drum, Soul Ring, and halfway to his Blink Dagger.
He's going to be the one they have to rally around. He's doing really well, but the other two, yeah, you see the Jug's doing okay, but yeah, TB's having a better time, and OD is having a much better time now.
Snowball forward. They found Matthew, has already used the Echo Stomp, and looks like he will eventually go down. Can maybe kill that bug off of him if he wanted. The Avalanche, S4, doesn't quite get him. Matthew, around the tree, able to live. He's turning it back around. They able to get the stomp off. S4 has to use the time lapse, but now Sumail shows up, and they do finally get that kill.
That was close. That was much closer than I thought it was actually going to get him to.
I mean, they forced out the time lapse. Yeah, if that was a second later, maybe they get that kill.
Now we see the bottom lane has been abandoned as Terrorblade. The job has been done to slow down the Juggernaut, and TB just farms at an infinite pace faster than a Jug.
Now they have the Avalanche Toss combo. They'll find the kill onto the Disruptor.
Okay. Pretty decent. The other good thing about the Bat, we didn't really mention too much, is I was talking about how OD can be nice as a save versus Bat. The other thing, though, is OD, it used to be sometimes you'd see people actually play the Bat versus the OD in the mid lane because OD's turn rate is absolutely atrocious. It's one of the worst in the game. So Bat can be pretty successful if he can get on top of that OD.
Right.
If he's going for him. But then it's like, you know, target priority. Which one do you want? It's TB or it's the OD. You have to make your choice.
But likewise, we've been seeing a lot of times it's Terrorblade sort of playing passively, pushing out the side lanes, while it's the OD that's the one that's like moving around. If you've only got one target in the early game and can see this rotation coming, you can maybe find yourselves a couple kills as they are hunting.
They don't want Disruptor. They just killed Fly in the mid lane. They don't want to be killing him. They want to find the Terrorblade jungling or the OD.
And good recognition by EG. You know, they see, okay, there aren't people showing in lanes all that much. They're probably moving over in our jungle, and they're going to abandon that area in Arteezy. Bethune, we're going to see him living in that little tri-camp for a while.
Yep. That is his home.
And, well, Disruptor.
They'll
take it.
They'll just take it. They don't want to use Lasso for it, but they'll take the kill.
The Glimpse gets them back over to the creep wave a little quicker, and now the Tier 1 tower likely to go down. Going for the Spell Lamp on that
Just wanted to do as much damage as possible before the TB can get BKB. That's one that I've seen actually, like, it's, I think, pretty 50-50 between. Because they're both pretty good talents. 6% even is like, it's kind of little, but the fact that it's 6% and it amplifies everything of the hero, because your complete magic damage is nice.
Not to mention the fact that this is Spell Amp getting like that extra value because you're with an ET aura that's reducing magic resistance as well.
This is true.
Speaking of that ET, is going for the max Echo Stomp build, just trying to set up for big fights. And S4 in some trouble here. Prada, he's going to have the Fiend's Grip after the fact, and the full rotation coming around. Can they kill him off in time? They are going to just use the lasso for it, and now Crit has actually decided to go in here. Wanted to try and save his buddy, but ends up feeding his life.
Oops. Crit was trying to go, Crit was trying to save, but Leo Style stunned him with the Tiny, delayed him a little bit, and just rose to his death. Get themselves some kills. Yeah, they're getting themselves some kills, but Panel mentioned a lot about this is a killing draft. Thunder Predator, absolutely. This is a draft that can easily get kills. It's transitioning it into objectives. That's always been their biggest problem in this team overall.
And how are they going to do that? It's going to need to be their incredible snowballs, and once everybody's dead, just push a tower with what's left, or possibly set up. I mean, Tiny does do a lot of damage to towers, but he is right now the lowest net worth of all of the cores in the game.
Yeah, and hitting towers for him is really risky when you're playing Risk Disruptor. It's mostly going to be the Jug hitting those buildings because he's got the liberty of just being able to like spin if the glimpse does come out.
Right.
Does have to watch himself though. There is a BKB or a spin piercing like stun if he does want to like spin TB. They do have the Walrus Punch.
Right. Stacks coming out there on both of the Ancients, both that one as well as the secondary jungle for the Radiant.
Okay.
But the continuing theme that we've seen is Terrorblade pushing out these side lanes while staying somewhat survivable. Prada is hunting a little bit here, but he's already used the Fiend script, and there isn't that like IO relocate or something else. Prada's going to stick down here for a second, but I think Arteezy is already realizing the danger and backing out. Maybe a smoke up? Doesn't look like they're going to go for it.
Still pretty decent start. Like even now the Jug, like Atun starting to catch back up even though he died. He's only like 400 gold behind Arteezy, who's been jungling the whole time. Atun.
Sumail, his smoke pops. They walk forward. Shards are there. Matthew, level 5. They're thinking about chasing. Need to be a little bit wary, though. Everybody from EG very grouped up, and Matthew could go for the Echo Stomp combination if they want it. Everybody together with the Bat Rider behind. Prada's going to feed his life away as well. Now the Force Staff to the high ground. Frank caught. He does have the Firefly still working, though, so he can go back to the low ground and possibly run away, although now the Snowball's on top of him. It's a good amount of damage here onto Sumail, but they'll kill off that Bat Rider with the overextension coming from Thunder Predator.
EG just showing how much they prioritize the mid tower. They're like, all right, you're not taking our mid tower. It's way too important in this game to be able to have our access points to the farm for Arteezy in there, so bringing absolutely everybody. And Thunder Predator, they were trying to do that like that wraparound. I love seeing when teams just don't like, you don't just walk as like forward from one angle, try to get the wrap, but EG was prepared.
Yeah. Problem is EG's seen it too.
Yeah.
They knew it was coming, it seems like.
Yeah.
So 15.5 minutes. It's a 3,000 gold lead for them, despite being down 2 kills, just by virtue of what these heroes have been doing, farm priority around the area. Jug is going to be going back for the Battle Fury afterwards, which can help him continue to accelerate, but
pretty much needs it in order to be able to contest if he wants to go late game versus a TB, because it's a single core.
Yeah.
It's like Tiny is a static damage hero unless you get like incredibly super farmed and you get like Echo Saber like crit, which is not really the case. He's only has 61 last hits.
And you can see here as well the spread of creeps. He's been absolutely everywhere. Mainly though, it's been off the back of lanes and neutrals.
Yeah. Just TB things, right? So that's what we see now.
God, Prada keeps on moving forward like that. He potentially, and if he even hits just on one of those ganks.
This is exactly what he needs to do. Like even if he dies going in here to get these aggressive wards down to Lookfist, he's hunting. At least he's not just like sitting back, not trying to make plays. He's being active, which is great to see.
Yeah.
You can see though, EG, they're not trying to make the plays. They're just like they have a more defensive stance that they can take in this game because they have the TB farming.
Push back, crit. They want to get him. They're able to use the glimpse simultaneously, which breaks the lasso. There's a stomp there that connected onto the Tusk, and now the Avalanche. The toss, not back, only up, but the Earth Splitter not going to connect either.
I think this is really over-ambitious here by Thunder Predator. They're trying to make this plays, and they're like 120 gold from Blink Dagger on Bat Rider. If you had a Blink there, perhaps you can actually get the Blink pull back. But that one, he just like walked up and tried to go for it. I think they're putting way too much focus on trying to get this mid tower because you see it's not working. In the last few moments, EG's now accrued a 4K net worth lead and a 6K XP lead.
Right. Oh, S4 might be in some trouble here. They go through him. Does have that Fiend script if he wants to use it afterwards, although they have the bug on him now, and Crit going to snowball forward, trying to interrupt. They do have the Echo Stomp, connects onto 2, but now you don't have the Fiend script, and Sumail is moving into position as well. Frank has already gone for the Firefly, trying to walk away from them all, and still S4 is hanging out in this area, giving some good vision, but there's going to be the Avalanche toss coming from Leo Style, and Crit going to pay. Still, TB farms, and they don't lose that much.
Yeah. Look at, did you hear this build of S4? Maybe one of the first times we've seen. It's, of course, a very good item now, so why not? Build it on a Weaver. Lads. Solar Crest also just a really good item on the hero overall. Helps for Roche. Just kind of provides auras as this. Because he's not your traditional offlaner in this game. He's a Weaver, so he has to kind of make up for it a little bit.
Yeah. And then the Solar Crest sounds real good on throwing it on the OD.
Yeah, I still do. I mean, it sounds good on that, but I still really like the Aghanims this game, like the panel was talking about. Just so many different usages that I can just reset the fights for. Then they have another extra save. We'll see what she prioritizes for.
That is the Blink Dagger done now for the Bat Rider.
Okay.
Don't believe that's been scouted from EG, but they have to anticipate that it's coming out, considering what this Batrider's been doing in this game.
And now they can probably try to set up to go for this mid tower, because they have the deep ward down as well, watching the movements from EG. Prada?
Oh, spots it out. Everybody from EG is here with the exception of Arteezy. The shards aren't going to connect, but they do take down that ward. And now pulling back in onto this Batrider. Are they going to be able to do it? It's an Astral to save their buddy. They have the static storm down, Leo style, in some trouble. S4 actually got pulled down to the low ground, and Prada caught him. That Sentry Ward drop down, great recognition.
He didn't go for the instant time lapse actually when he got out of it. He just went for the Shikuchi, and they had Sentry prepared. Bit of mistakes coming out from S4.
And now EG, do they still feel confident sticking around for this tier 1 tower? I don't think so.
They used Disruptor ulti. They still have OD's sanities, but yeah, I think they defended long enough here.
So a 3,000 gold lead still for EG, but it is Thunder Predator that are kind of controlling the map in a way. Like I think EG is controlling the lanes really well, making sure that the side lanes are always pushed out. But the warding game, Prada's been on point.
Yeah, they're still like, they're prioritizing objectives, which is good to see. They don't have these supernatural tower pushing. They're still able to do that. They've gotten these 2 tier 1s now to be able to infiltrate. We see EG, they're itemizing though. They look at the lineup in Thunder Predator, and what do we talk about? Their damage, it's static until Juggernaut gets farmed. It's a lot about magic damage. They're building multiple BKBs on the 2 cores.
Yeah.
OD as well as Terrorblade have that BKB queued up as their next item. We'll be able to find this kill.
Brain sap?
No, they won't be able to. Okay.
Prada the God!
All right. He's out. But yeah, they're going to be getting those next very soon, actually. Arteezy pretty much has it finished up, and Sumail pretty much has the BKB finished too. So that's going to make the team fights really impossible for Thunder Predator unless they're just completely out of position on the side of EG.
Well, that is that BKB, and 20 minutes in, 3,000 gold lead. It's pretty much been, I would say, a very solid showing from Thunder Predators so far.
Yeah, in these first 20 minutes, definitely.
Not like overextending for that tier 1 tower that much. And likewise, EG doing a really good job of just knowing when they can fight and when they can't.
Look at top right here, the jungle. Frank
Although
on a
Matthew
mission.
looks like he's going to end up dying most likely. They've been able to pull back in onto 1. So Matthew dies, but in turn they get Sumail.
Just playing really well around their vision, knowing they want to prioritize putting pressure on in that jungle. But now they know Lasso's down. Arteezy has BKB. They're very strong when they have these BKBs, if it's an actual straight-up fight.
Very quick. The Nightmare can trade that over, though, with the Tusk, or possibly, if you want to, one of his illusions. It's a Toon Battle Fury done. 21 minutes. Ava toss on to Fly.
They left him to dead.
Dude, Arteezy can just pass that over to the illusion. He's like, no, you got to take it.
Yeah.
This illusion's got the last hits.
Sacrificial things as a 5 position.
It's a classic.
Yeah, poor Fly. Best Chongqing, that was Signs of Life. And that was meta use, so Arteezy will go back to the jungle to keep farming. And we saw that Atun had picked up the Battle Fury a couple moments ago, and then he farmed a huge Ancient stack, so already pretty close to that Manta style on top. He's doing pretty well, keeping pretty close to a Terrorblade.
And Terrorblade has maintained just this iron grip on the top net worth spot, it feels like. About 2,000 gold ahead of it. Atun is going to start catching up now, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the heroes that just farms the fastest in the game. It's like your Lunas and your Terrorblades in the jungle. If you leave them be, they just farm so incredibly fast. Because other heroes, they require items to do what these heroes do when they're jungling. Like Jug requires a Battle Fury. Those other ones just have those ways of making their farm faster built into the hero as bottom.
Again, Prada, he's there. He's got the Fiend script ready to go. Atun wants to take him down before they're able to get the jump. The little hit from the tree. Oh, Leo style.
Between the crit from the Jug and the tree, it was just enough for them to actually bring him down.
That was pretty great.
Yeah. But they're getting the pickoffs around the map. Like EG's just falling for it a little bit here. That's the beauty of having their Bane and their Batrider, 2 heroes that we haven't been seeing getting picked too much, but if you are going for just splitting up the map entirely like that, you're bound to get picked off when this hero is just running around constantly.
Definitely. It's a very good type of draft that they ran even just yesterday too, so something they're comfortable with, and we'll have to see how EG respond now. They take down the tier 1 tower in the top lane.
I think they just look for a fight.
Yeah.
With 5 heroes. They can just look for a fight and then go set up for a Roshan. Because they've got meta, they've got the 2 BKBs that we were talking about that make them so powerful in a head-on engagement if they actually just take a straight fight versus Thunder Predator.
Yeah, and you talk about, okay, there are, BKB piercing disables, but those are mainly single target. The big, team fight damage that comes out from Thunder Predator is by virtue of magic damage that gets blocked by that.
And they're actually they're gonna just make their way into the pit. It was scanned though.
Yeah.
But it's gonna die pretty fast with the medallion, the bugs, the tag team, and the TB.
It's so hard to come and contest this.
Yeah, look at this. It's already dead.
Very nice play there from EG. They're going to be able to get this Aegis onto Arteezy.
Yeah, they tried to go for like a hunt play first, get some deep vision down. They didn't find anybody. They're like, whatever. We can take this rush faster before then Thunder Predator can actually react.
And now, Leo Style, quick blink away. Ooh, they want to find the glimpse. Fly, looking for it. They pull him back in now. Avalanche to follow. It's going to connect onto absolutely everybody. Look at that damage. There isn't any follow-up at all, but...
Sumail got scared for a second. He popped his BKB. It was a crazy amount of damage. It hit, like you said, everybody.
And now they find that stomp afterwards. Yeah, I mean, that goes to show if you do have your BKBs down on EG, with the ET Spirit on there, and then maybe a spin or an Omni Slash, things get dicey.
We see Atun, Manta finished, has already seen that the Eagle Song was on the TB. You also have to assume the TB is going to be going for that butterfly next or the item after. MKB is the choice for him. And he's going to have it, I mean, not in too bad of a time. Like, this Jug is still keeping the pace pretty decently with the TB. 2,000 behind, but relatively keeping up.
You saw there as well the Bat Rider waiting for somebody to show up, and Jug was definitely ready to Omni Slash. So Weaver, the Solar Crest is done. Still anticipating that we might have an Aghanims at some point this game.
Yeah, it's next. It has to be the Aghanims. It's like either you go Aghanims or you go Lincolns. And I think Aghanims is just better in all cases.
It's such a game-changing ability.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
That's...
Chop. That's the butterfly.
Wow.
That's the quarterstaff, I believe, that was needed. And he was on his way to pick up the talisman.
It was also Fly's extra survivability. He wanted that bracer.
We don't care about support items. Only big items here.
I
mean, it's true. I think it actually had a ward too, right?
So, yeah, it might have.
Yeah. So.
But look here, high grounds. Atun pushing into the tier 3 tower. The TP rotation, the pings are there, but they don't want to chance the danger of going up high ground. So instead, they're going to come back to the shrine. S4 did TP there, so they're a bit late for that kill.
Great wards by Thunder Predator the entire game so far. 26 minutes. You can tell where their focus of where they want to play.
Yeah.
They have these wards here. That's exactly what they're setting up, looking for picks. They're not trying to make these plays into like the darkness where they don't see anything.
I think that we're talking up Thunder Predator a lot because a lot of people counted them out, but they're showing they're on par here with EG, who are doing all the right things themselves as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's 26 minutes, and it's, relatively even. It is still a TB and a lineup from EG that does scale incredibly hard, though.
Yeah.
But there is always the X factor. My boy, Elder Titan, and Frank.
And Frank.
Dude, Frank's been owning. He's 5-1-5 on the Bat Rider in a lane which is Weaver favored. He just did an excellent job.
It's just like, it's such like a normal name. You have all these other ones like Sumail, S4, and Frank.
Yeah. It's just Frank, man.
Frank's a baller.
Yeah. CEG, they're all sitting behind Arteezy, who, like we said, they have those BKBs, so they're ready to take these fights. 1 minute till that courier respawns with the finished butterfly, though.
I think Atun just denied one of those creeps from Arteezy.
Did you really? That's probably, that's why they're Greeble laughing. I mean, it makes sense. These guys love their Greeble laughter. Brada is under vision.
Well, a step too far, and the Bane's going to be punished.
Hasn't gotten picked off too many times, though, even when he's been doing the plays with this Bane, just walking around putting wards. It's only his 4th death. Sometimes you see these Banes when they're taking these risks, they have like 8, 9 deaths or something.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that movement by him. That shows that he's doing a good job, like at least hunting. He wants to make plays.
That's insane.
Yeah. He's not trapped in his base. Nah, he's making moves.
The TP's out, and Jug is also going to get out of there.
He's got MKB, and now he's going to be, of course, going for that B-Fly. One thing is, though, Juggernaut versus Terrorblade. Panel talked about it. We've all talked about it. We saw the Jug. Of course, we saw it beating TBs in, I think, the game yesterday, but Reflection. Reflection is a terrifying thing.
Yeah.
He has the Manta, he has the spin to be able to remove it, but if he does get caught in a situation where he doesn't have either of those, your illusion kind of kills you very quickly.
Any type of disable, and that is one sort of downside to EG's lineup, is that you don't have like the tons of great amps. Oh, we need to keep our eyes here. Prada, so you get Glimpse back in. Does have the Nightmare there onto Terrorblade.
He's just kind of standing still, just keeps clicking. They can't actually find the catch. Flies goes for it anyway, but he knows that one's not going to work.
I mean, I think that part of the reason that we saw it yesterday with the Jug too was that there was like 1 or 2 seconds of disable, and then the Jug was gone. But on the lineup of EG right now, it's pretty much just the Tusk.
Now they have a Hex, though.
Oh, okay, yeah, it can make a difference. Oh, smoke out, though. Underneath vision. This is dangerous. Fly just put down another one. There's 2 wards down. So both teams have full vision right here. Prada going to be the one that gets initiated on. They've already used the snowball, trying to take down one, and they've got the lasso. Is it going to be enough, though? They're bringing him down super low. Sumail is already dead, and now the rest of EG needs to run out of here, although they're caught here in the spin. Atune trying to walk away.
Shards.
He's still caught and in trouble. The healing ward, it's not going to keep Atune survivable enough.
Beautiful play there by Crit. Those shards, he may have just been able to spin and disengage there. There might have been a glimpse follow-up afterwards, but great shards there, and they're able to get the grab on Sumail right away, but the Omni Slash looks like I think it just bounced between illusions the whole time, right? Just between TB illusions and Manta.
It does signify a problem, which is that you've got these 2 cores that you need to take down.
Just kidding, he didn't even use the Omni, it was just him attacking, sorry.
Oh, it's all the illusions.
It's all the illusions. It sounded like an Omni, apologies.
Exactly.
He got caught inside the Disruptor ulti. But yeah, they get Sumail, and he actually did pop the BKB at the last, like, 0.1 second of his life. So that does get ticked down to 8 seconds.
Get the sleep, but Matthew maybe in some trouble. Nightmare does get the snowball forward. Frank shows up. Matthew is still living for the moment, but eventually going to brought down. And Leo style, they throw forward Prada to body block Fly, and S4 is still here. They're going to lose this Disruptor, and can they kill off S4 as well? They have the Nightmare Chase. Fly still living for the moment.
The cores are coming from EG.
Arteezy shows up as well. You need to get out of here, Frank. Prada, although Leo style, he's looking for the chase down there. He wants to get the kill onto Fly, and, well, we'll find it finally. And it looks like with Arteezy and Sumail showing up, Prada is eventually going to die. So a 2-for-3 exchange, and Courier? Oh, good glyph.
It's a full eye of Scotty there for Arteezy. That was without meta, too, that they're able to take 2 for 3. Now with Batrider dead, they're looking to go for this tier 3. I mean, it's already dead. They can hit on Rex. There's no glyph.
So quickly.
That's a Rex.
I mean, they have buyback.
They're being a little careful.
On the Batrider. If they could find the stomp here on Arteezy, it'd be pretty good. Courier.
Oh, okay.
Classic.
Just walked in front of him, all right.
You lose your tier 3 tower, send it down mid, it happens.
All right. This is just the 3 cores right now from EG who are sitting out here, but they know those 2 other heroes are dead, and they claim themselves a Rax. Just like that, 13k gold lead now, a huge swing.
Yeah, and it's when those fights become so chaotic, and you feel like you got to save somebody, that overextensions happen, and EG very able to punish.
They just have these 2 cores that it's like you have to choose. I was talking about it. That's the problem with Batriders. He gets you the lasso, but then they kill 1 target. The secondary one might just be there, and they're going to start having the saves for this. Like Aghanims is almost finished for Weaver.
Then you don't even find the first.
Yeah, and there might be some situations too where, I mean, he might just sunder his teammate too if he gets lassoed too.
Right.
So, gotta be careful. Thunder Predator really needs like the perfect kind of situation for their team fights, because their damage is not going to be there for all of the targets. It's going to be there to burst 1 down, and then it's going to be a little bit hard for the follow-ups.
That Scotty was delivered on the Courier earlier.
Yeah, he's got another 3,300 on top already because of taking out those Rexes on Arteezy.
ET would love to get in the midst of these fights, tries finishing off the BKB.
He's trying to. He's trying to just get on top of that TB, and even on top of like OD. Reducing this armor is great for either.
Crit, they see Leo style. He's jumped on right at the start. They have a Nightmare save, maybe? No. Not deciding to go for it, but he does buy back, and now the Stomp. They also have the Earth Splitter. They pull back 1. Omni Slash, it's mainly onto creeps, but they do finally get it there onto Sumail, and he will fall. Arteezy's BKB doing a good amount of work. Atune needs to walk away, and he is eventually going to be brought down as well. That's Scotty Slow doing oh so much, and the Avalanche, guess what? Arteezy's still there. A pretty good Echo Stomp, but there is no follow-up at all. And
they
now,
just got delivered the Aghanims too on the Weaver, and they've got the Glimpse now.
They pull back in Matthew and EG doing what we all knew they could eventually do, a triple kill for Artur. And now the movement up onto high ground with very little to stop him.
You can just see the damage in that fight recap, how much he was able to do. Sure, again, they lasso Sumail. Sumail gets brought down. The Omni Slash hits a lot of creeps, which is a bit unfortunate, but they don't have the damage for the secondary target. And he just gets himself an ultra kill. Okay.
The delayed ultra, as this barracks is going to fall, doesn't even need Metamorphosis right now, is a very hard fight to take. 19,000 net worth lead, and EG, they've pretty much been in the lead this whole game, even though there were moments where it felt like Thunder Predator were doing pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like they had a shot, right? That 26-minute mark, it was only about a 5K gold lead. EG got their BKBs, and you could tell they were just so much more comfortable around the map. They started playing really aggressively rather than being on the defensive factor. And yeah, now it's looking pretty impossible for Thunder Predator as they have lost everything but 42 HP on a range Rex.
Oh, God.
That could just be an illusion that goes in and kills that.
And you saw the Batrider there also getting his Blink Dagger broken by the reflection.
I said the illusion.
He's going
I said
for
it. I didn't see that one. I thought it was going to come from somewhere else, but all right. Now they get the Megas.
Hey, they can't even deal with this illusion. What the hell? That's a Terrorblade. Yeah. So 19 to 21, 22,000 net worth lead. Thunder Predator, they're going to find Crit here and most likely be able to take him down. But I have a feeling that he is kind of okay with the situation as the rest of EG is going to start to run into this jungle here. Who are they going to find? Prada's there. Sumail walks forward. Nightmare coming, interrupting.
The Fiend's Grip.
Okay, the follow-up, the Earth Splitter, it's immediately broken, and Prada's just gone.
Oh my God.
Arteezy, BKB chase forward. They do have those illusions hitting onto heroes, but Attune needs to run away. That's actually an AC done for this Terrorblade as they just want to end this game. Move on to the next.
Straight up plus armor as well versus the Elder Titan, so then he doesn't have to worry. If he gets Solar Crest thrown on him, did you see how much armor he just had? Look, 82 armor.
Yeah, that's a lot.
82? Oh my God, I haven't seen 80 armor.
Physical resistance.
I have not seen 80 armor in a while, actually.
Well, he doesn't need it even. This is buildings falling. This is heroes dying. They're going to be able to find the pullback, but it's only for a moment and just gone. The Omni Slash tickling for the moment. Although he does have the Sunder afterwards, he's able to get it off in time. And the Sanity's Eclipse comes out as well, slowing everybody up. They are going to be able to have that Astral Imprisonment, keeping Arteezy alive as well. And push now, apparently. GG, it's the real call. Ooh. They take game number 1.
That's the other thing that does happen sometimes when you are playing the matchup of like the ET. I didn't really get to talk about too much of the game, but when you're playing ET versus the Terrorblade 2, is when he does use Reflection, they have their own ET aura too in a lot of those situations, so the damage gets amplified even more. Looked like a pretty decent showing though for the first 26 minutes of Thunder Predator. I mean, Frank and Prada again for me were excellent in the game. It seemed like they just hit a brick wall of the BKBs of EG and couldn't take the fights.
Yeah, and that's sort of just the inherent problem with the draft that the panel was talking about, you were talking about from the very beginning, and something that they're going to need to address in game number 2, which is going to be right around the corner, everybody. Stick around. We have more from Thunder Predator versus EG right after this.